Greetings, Capricorn, all placements. Okay, so first things first, right off the bat, something here is a clandestine, is a match made in heaven. Like this can be someone who had a crush on someone when they were younger and the other person like made fun of that person, but now it's been like decades and the other person who made fun of the first one who had a crush on them is now falling for that person. And there's like a lot of old childhood things here. There's a lot of karmic retribution at hand. For some of my Capricorns, there can be something about, I don't know, the golden era, golden, GoldenEye, GoldenEye 007, 008, 008 follows orders, 117, ones and sevens, ones and eights. Eights are all about self-mastery. Sevens are all about spiritual downloads. So for some of my Capricorns who weren't believers, if you're more of like a practical person, you don't really believe in the intuition, or you don't believe in God, or you don't, it's like something's going to happen that's going to make you believe in something that you didn't previously believe in, or that maybe you believed in, but you weren't really living. You know, it's kind of like all the people who like go to church, but they don't really commune with God and live with a conscience of God and Christ in them every single day in all of their dealings. They kind of have times when they are, you know, of the Lord at church with their people, and then they have times when they kind of put it on the back burner, they put it on the shelf, and then they could chastise other people who are actually always living it, but maybe not, you know, the front pew in church every Sunday because they have other things going on in their life, but they're always walking with God. So there's something here about how different people experience relationship with God and spirituality. There's judgments here. Someone here can have like a burning crown chakra. So if you're bald, I don't know, you could be out in the sun a lot this week, so wear sun protection. If you're out at the beach or something, there's something here about literally like the head being on fire or being overheated or getting like scalding heat or shaving the head. Someone here could be shaving the head. Now, I do know balding is a symptom, energetically speaking, of bitterness, resentfulness, holding on to things, anger that is unprocessed and that is going inward because it's not having a healthy expression outward. So it is inwardly expressing as balding. So some of my Capricorns could have to kind of address emotional things that have been ancestral, passed down, like anger that has been passed down from your father, from your mother, from your grandfather, from your grandmother, like what they had to deal with. Some of my Capricorns are just frankly not going to get to have a certain situation because they are not dropping in other situations. So for some of my Capricorns, this is a season of judgment where from now until November, you can leave a situation and you can have a whole new life. And it's like you're going to be blessed tenfold. Like think of Job. It's like he lost everything, but then he was given everything back, but then like tenfold. It was like way more than he had the first time. So for some of my Capricorns, if you are willing to take a big loss, then you can get an even bigger win. But for my Capricorns who are not being of full integrity and who are trying to kind of vet multiple things along the way or date multiple things along the way or like keep the old and see if things get further along with the new, that then maybe you'd feel comfortable releasing the old. Spirit's not going to let that happen. It's like you have to be all in or not at all. And because it's like Spirit has, like some people, their karma is to follow God's will. I mean, every relationship, really, every marriage is, I believe, in the eyes of God, it has a purpose. But some people are actually meant to work with their spouse, like have a business together or be in a similar industry. And what's happening here is Spirit is being very specific that there's a certain Capricorn that needs to end something elsewhere because Spirit has like presented this person with their spouse that is meant to be their business partner, that they're meant to like change the world and really have a strong impact and be like a power couple in their field, but they have to be of integrity going towards this. And Spirit has to put an expiration date on it of November because Spirit has people on the back burner that it's like, well, if person A doesn't do the job that I put them in to be in a relationship with that person in that industry, then Spirit is rerouting somebody else who actually is going to have the balls and the heart to listen to God and make the necessary changes. And then Spirit will reroute somebody else to take that person's spot. You see, you cannot take, like, people can't ruin God's destiny for you in relationship. If you're like, oh, I was destined to be with that person, but they just didn't follow through. Well, you were destined to be with that person to follow a specific plan of God. Say you're both supposed to be like personal trainers. It's like, well, then if that person doesn't step through, Spirit will put another personal trainer that actually is listening to God in that person's path. So like the person is replaceable. Now, the heart of God in a person is not replaceable, and you can't mimic it either. And so Spirit is not going to let certain things happen because there are certain Capricorns here, or people that are dealing with Capricorns, that want to have their cake and eat it too. They still want to keep the old, and then they want to try and maybe get something off the ground with this person new. And God is like, you have to completely cut off the old to pursue this new. And if you don't do that, then by November, you're going to have zero access to this new situation at all, and you're just going to have to watch them thrive with a different person in that industry. And because you're in that industry, you're probably going to have to work around this person at some point in time that once upon a time you could have had. Now, this can also be in business relationships. So say there's like one company that's like a top company that doesn't want you to like break through that glass ceiling. So Spirit will go, okay, you know what? Then you're not going to be the company that this person's going to get there with. In fact, I'm going to make this other company have a huge come up because they're actually going to value this star player that I tried to give to you and your team, your company, your business. But because you wanted to have some sort of control or cap on their income, I couldn't give that person to you. So, you thought that you were cutting this person out of a certain industry, but you weren't cutting them out of the industry at all. You were just getting your own karma by trying to hold somebody back that Spirit was giving you to bless your company, to bless your other employees, or, if it's like a school for education, to bless the children, if it's a place for the animals, to bless those animals. Like, if someone here there's like a huge bounce back, there's a huge pushback, there is like someone here is going to get a lot. They're really going to reap what they sow. And I'm not going to lie, like I'm getting a lot of energy of Tyr and Tyr. He had to he lost a hand saving a village from the wolf Fenris in runes, like in Norse mythology. Tyr had to trick Fenris the wolf, who was like completely destroying a whole village, and in that he had to sacrifice his whole hand, his wrist down, to trap the wolf, to catch the wolf, to kill him, and to save the village and all the families. Someone here, literally, I don't know, they might lose a limb, there could be like a serious loss, but I mean, also I know like marriage is like a limb, because we say, and God took Adam's rib and made there's things like that. So someone here will need to get divorced, will need to have a full separation, or someone here might actually experience like a physical, like on their own body, like a loss, or like, I don't know, like eyesight or something, like a sense could kind of go. I do not wish this on anyone. I simply read energy and it's coming through very strong. I was also hearing the war is over song, and so this is Christmas, and what have you done, da-da, and then year one, and da-da begun, it's a very Merry Christmas, in that song, then at the end he's like, war is over. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Okay. But yeah, is that a John Lennon song? I don't know. I was hearing, look at all of the people. So something could happen around Christmas, or there could be like a big kaboom around Christmas. Also, someone here is being kissed by a snake. Also, I was hearing kissed by a rose, but it's like a thorn, a poisonous rose, poison ivy. Someone here needs to be cautious with that. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Russ talks. So if you're about to be in a foresty area, go to your local Walgreens, CVS, etc., Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, where you can get the little Boiron. I usually have some at my desk. I don't have any at my desk right now. Homeopathic pellets, and get Russ Tox, RHUS, TOX. Russ Tox, 30 C's is fine. And if you take those pellets, it says on the thing how to take it. It's just homeopathic. If you take Russ Tox a couple days before you're going to be in the woods and the day of, then usually you can completely negate any reaction to poison ivy, or you can severely lessen your reaction to it. Someone here could be, I don't know, tromping around a forest. Someone here could have to bury someone. I'm not going to lie. I was seeing that energy. Like there is some sort of huge sacrifice or loss, whether it's like a marriage, whether it's a company, or whether it's an actual. Bless you.